Okay, so we don't typically do starters when we're doing intros when we're doing episodic coverage, but I was going to go ahead and point out that we got our Casey Musgraves slow burn candle today.
We did indeed.
And it's good. It is very strong. It's very strong, and it is a masculine. It's the company Boy Smells, and yeah.
It is a boy smell.
But it is we like it. It's deep, and it is kind of what it sounds like. Like it's a slow burn.
It's good. I really like it.
Smoky and lots of it just smells red.
Musky, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of red. But I do bring that up because it does appear that we are, in fact, in for a slow burn.
Yeah.
So this was episode 2 of Penny Dreadful, Season of Angels, City of Angels. There you go.
City of Angels. It's called Dead People Lie Down.
That they do.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You sound unconvinced.
It wasn't exciting.
That's true.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine to continue down this path. I am a hair fatigued. Thin.
Just in general, or
in life,
from
and
the show?
Everything,
okay.
But also specifically, this is a very topical, unfortunately, season of a show, and we are at a saturation point with media where a lot of media is tackling this stuff, and that is not a fault of the show or the production, but I am at a point where I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I am also. I have reached capacity for cops just doing whatever they want to minorities. Yeah. And I know that minorities have also reached that point, but I just it's happening in real life. It's the same thing for me with the Nazis. This is happening on the daily in real life. It's not what I am looking for from my entertainment.
Well, and furthermore, we just talked about the TV show Hollywood on Netflix, and we were having a debate as to the responsibility of art and rewriting history and stuff. And I was saying that there's a part of me that likes just not giving people the option to be terrible.
Right. It's like the Schitt's Creek paradigm.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times it's like if you give people an option, they will take it.
Yeah.
Because people are stupid. The entire season of South Park is how people don't fully understand. The entire run of South Park is how people don't fully understand messages that are being told to them sometimes.
Yeah.
I want to live in the 911 TV show world where, because I'm literally I refuse to say the phrase "not all cops" on this show, No,
100% no, because while that might be true, it's enough of them to be an epidemic.
Yeah, to be a problem. And it's like, this is a lot of, so far, preaching to the choir, which is an apt metaphor several ways over.
Because seriously, what kind of people who already don't think cops are the bad guys are watching this show going, hey, I think cops might be the bad guys. Like, this is not going to be this show is not reaching anybody it needs to reach.
Well, yeah. And now, having said all that, I am honestly interested in this show and what it has to say. And unfortunately, this is necessary groundwork that we do have to cover, because if they didn't, we would be saying, I know this is tired, but we needed that in order for this stuff to land. And so,
yeah, I agree with you 100%. It just is
laborious.
While it's happening, I'm like, yeah, I get it. The cops are shitty and they hate all the Mexican people, regardless of the fact that that's super reductive. So, but it just is like, like, I have to do this again, and there's Nazis at the same time?
Well, and it's like, as we mentioned in the first episode, that Natalie Dormer is playing a demon named Magda, who is thus playing humans, or masquerading as humans who are influencing people down this direction. So it's like, though I understand that is the prime conflict of the show, so far, Santa Muerte has been useless.
Yeah.
And so it's frustrating watching supernatural entity making things worse. And again, I am actually enjoying this, and I have hope that we are going somewhere. I have faith that we are going somewhere, but it is a slow burn. I am very thankful that we have Tiago, and I need to start writing notes because I do not know their names enough to be doing what we're doing. But I do like Tiago. I am interested in him. I do like Nathan Lane. I am interested in him. I was excited to see Richard Kind because he brings an element of goodwill.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's tapped out. So it's like, I suppose.
I was pretty bummed about that. I was like, really? That's a big gun to bring in and then just like, meh.
I mean, this is a show where you can play with death. We'll see where this goes. But it is taking its time, and I am trusting based on, I have faith, I'm trusting that it will be good. I think maybe a hair or two, well, like 30 hairs more supernatural and or scary might excite us.
I think so, because we
started strong with one.
Well, yeah, but that's also in the original Penny Dreadful. That was something that came existed. Out of the gate, it was scary. There were monsters.
Swinging. The seance is the second episode, and that scene is like 30 minutes. Yeah, because so far, we came out strong with the angels and the demon, the angel and the demon, and then we had like a weird supernatural moment where she absorbed her child into her stomach in the middle. Yeah. And then with this, we had like a spook, it's like someone was behind her and then he wasn't. And then boom, I'm right here. So it's like, again, fine, hoping that it's going somewhere. But yeah. So a real note for this episode is that we have a cult.
I think, yes, it's a cult.
Okay.
It's at least culty.
Joyful Noise. Was that what it was called?
Something like that. Yeah.
It's a church that was functioning well beyond Mormon into Scientology type.
Yeah, they also when they're walking through the like office or whatever, there's just like sacks of money. Like every girl at one of those desks was counting stacks and stacks and stacks of money. And
they're very guarded. There's a lot of rules, because you asked me, was it Amy Madigan that was like, we can't interact with our parishioners? And you were like, that's not a thing, is it? And I was
she was like, we don't socialize with our congregants ever. And then Sister Molly said the same thing later. And I just was like, isn't that like the opposite of how church works? Aren't you supposed to get close to your congregants? Like, aren't you supposed to be like involved in their lives so you can like help them find their faith better?
Is Molly magic?
She could be. I could be fine with that.
She felt angelic in a proper way. Or she's a good seductress, good temptress. I
mean, two things can be true.
Sure. So yeah, I feel like the takeaway are people are going to think I'm not liking this. And while I'm not liking it, I'm not disliking it. Do you know what I mean? I'm very sort of like, I'm waiting to see I'm waiting to get to the theatrics of it all. You know what I mean?
Definitely, because that is one thing that the original Penny Dreadful, it was really extremely captivating right off the bat. And this has captivating aspects right off the bat, but I feel like they're not leaning quite far enough
Penny
in.
Dreadful the first series got very talky. I remember Price Peterson said the show just dares you to get bored. But it snagged us. You know what I mean?
It really did. And the other thing, which I because this City of Angels is so, the racial politics are so integral to it, I think it is obviously a bigger part, and it needs to be a bigger part. But it was always interesting to me about the original Penny Dreadful, how that was not really an issue. Like there were sketchy parts, like Sembene's whole deal was weird, and it was obviously, a Victorian era relationship or whatever, but it was colonialism for sure, but it was not like, it's just nasty in this. Like,
it's also not a Penny Dreadful so far. Like this is like a history lesson with weird tinges of supernatural.
Yeah, I just like the Officer Riley stuff in this episode was just the worst thing, because at the beginning
he's gonna get gutted at one point. That was foreshadowing.
Thank God,
if
it can't
ever
come
there was.
fucking soon enough. Yeah, but he spits on Tiago at the beginning, and I'm like, this guy's a cop too.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't shoot you or your partner or anybody. Like, gain some perspective. And then Tiago's little brother, who is a minor and still a child, was like crying, trying to get a soda. And he and 3 other grown man cops come in there and what are they going to kill him in the hospital? They were going to
blind him. Yeah.
Going to kill a child in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I mean.
And then who is it? I forgot his name already that saved him.
Rico.
Had we met him? That felt new.
I don't think so, unless he was the one like macking on the sister last week, but I don't think he was.
Because I pegged him as potentially supernatural as well. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like, I'm kind of hoping that there's, like, more supernatural forces at play and not
I want angels and demons, damn it.
Yeah, and I don't want it to be just 3 terrible versions of Natalie Dormer.
Because so far, all of the magic can be read as inference. Like, sure, we've seen a couple of moments, but it's like it could be, like, parable. Like, it could be, like an interpretation of how that fire started or like when Santa Muerte came to the mother in the first episode, like that could be in her mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I am actually weirdly into Rory Kinnear and Natalie Dormer's stuff because I have belief that they're going somewhere with it.
Yeah, I think they also have kind of bonkers chemistry, so it's
really
like
do.
Fun.
It's very strange because we hated Rory Kinnear. We hated Caliban so much on Penny Dreadful.
Well, he was just awful.
But it's like, I think Rory's actually very charismatic and very talented. We just didn't like that character.
Oh, yeah, definitely. No, I think he's a great actor. I mean, he's been in a Bond movie and stuff. He's like great.
They have a weird chemistry where I'm kind of like, interesting. So
I dig it, though. I think it's very interesting because he does, on the one hand, have that very, like, overly hyper masculine, like, 1920s and 30s, like, German man thing going on. But he also is weirdly emotionally connecting with her about, like, their shared past in Germany and stuff. And so, I don't know, it's really.
They made a point to give her kid a scene independent of her.
Yes.
Which was noteworthy to me. Because
it was also weird.
Well, yeah, but it's like, because he's an extension of her. So it's sort of like, interesting. And furthermore, that like weird sex delusion, was that in his mind or was she doing magic? You know what I mean? So it's like,
I mean, I think probably both.
I could love, because there's a way that maybe the magic is going to sort of creep into this. And I'm just assuming there's going to be, who the fuck knows? But it feels like Penny Dreadful would have magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, for sure.
So, yeah, I am intrigued. I will go that far as to say I am intrigued. Yeah. But given everything, and these are circumstances that the show shouldn't be responsible for, but given everything, it is trying me a little bit. Yeah,
I'm very, we know we've been saying it a lot, but I am very Helene York in the other two. And where I just am, every time something happens, I'm like, in this climate? Like, should this be happening right now like this? I don't know.
So, okay, cool. Well, we'll check back in next week.